For basically all of human history, we've had this one core belief. Being smart is what gets you ahead. But what happens when that intelligence, that raw brainpower, suddenly becomes cheap? I mean really cheap and available to everyone. Today, we're going to dig into this powerful idea that AI isn't really here to replace us, but to totally shake up the skills we value the most. So, what does this new hierarchy actually look like? Well, let's break it down.
And really, this whole thing boils down to one single kind of mind-bending question. For centuries, being smart, having more processing power in your head, was a massive, massive advantage. But the ground is shifting right under our feet. What happens to the value of a human mind when you can rent a genius-level intellect for about the same price as a Netflix subscription?
Okay, so this slide right here, it's the perfect way to think about this whole thing. It really just comes down to scarcity, right? In a drought, the rare thing, water, is worth a fortune. But in a flood, water is everywhere. It's a problem, even. All of a sudden, the one thing you never thought twice about, just plain old dry land, becomes the most valuable thing in the world. This simple idea is absolutely key to understanding what's happening right now.
Because that's the big point, isn't it? That's exactly where we are right now. We are no longer living in an intelligence drought. Nope, we are in the middle of an intelligence flood. AI is making raw cognitive power, that ability to just calculate and process information, completely and totally abundant.
And look, this isn't some abstract, far-off idea. This is real, right now. For about $20 a month, you can get your hands on an AI that has more raw processing power than any single human could ever hope for. Smart isn't a rare diamond anymore. It's a utility, kind of like electricity, just piped straight to your screen. So the real question becomes, what's our dry land?
Well, the answer is a totally new hierarchy of skills. If intelligence is the floodwater, then our dry land, our high ground, is made up of these uniquely human traits, the stuff that just can't be turned into a cheap commodity. So let's actually define what those things are.
Okay, so first, let's get our terms straight. When we're talking about intelligence, what we really mean is knowing how to do something. This is the world of pure logic, of strategy, of execution. How do I optimize this supply chain? How do I solve this complex math problem? And let's be clear, this is the sandbox AI is absolutely crushing it in.
But then there's wisdom. And wisdom, that's a whole different ballgame. Wisdom isn't about the how, it's about the why. Why should we even build this thing in the first place? What are the ethical consequences? What does this mean for people 10, 20 years from now? See, this isn't about calculation, it's about judgment. And that is where our new value is.
And right there with wisdom, you've got this other crucial piece, taste. Taste is all about knowing what is good, what's beautiful, what's funny, what message will actually connect with people on a deep emotional level. In a world that's about to be flooded with AI-generated stuff, having good taste, a refined sense of what's good, suddenly becomes a massive economic advantage.
This table just lays it out so clearly it's almost chilling. An AI can have incredibly high intelligence. It could probably figure out how to design some terrifying genetic virus. But a human, hopefully, brings high wisdom to the table. They understand why you should absolutely under no circumstances ever do that. Getting this distinction right, that might just be the most important job any of us have from now on.
So what does this actually mean for our day-to-day? For our jobs? Well, our job descriptions are changing. We're moving from being just creators to being curators and, this is a big one, moral guarantors.
Just think about this idea of being a curator. An AI can spit out 100 marketing slogans in 10 seconds flat. That's pure intelligence at work. But let's be honest, 99 of them are probably going to be generic algorithmic noise. The real human value is in the curation, using your taste and your gut to pick the one slogan that actually lands. So our job shifts from being the factory pumping out ideas to being the expert who finds the one diamond in the rough.
But it goes even deeper than just having good taste. There's a more fundamental role we have to play. Even if an AI could be a perfect doctor or a perfect judge, we would still need a human in the room. Why? It's simple. Accountability.
And there's this incredible term for this exact idea, the moral crumple zone. You know how a car has a crumple zone designed to absorb the impact of a crash? Well, in the age of AI, we humans become that crumple zone for morality. We're the ones who have to absorb the ethical and legal fallout when an automated system gets it wrong. After all, you can't sue an algorithm, right? You need a human being to be the one who's ultimately responsible. And that makes us absolutely essential. Okay, so beyond curating and taking responsibility, there's one last domain where humans have a home field advantage. That is, well, it's pretty much unbeatable. As the digital world gets crowded with AI, the physical world, what some people call meat space, becomes more important than ever.
Look, AI is a wizard in the digital world, the world of ones and zeros. But it literally cannot exist in the world of atoms. It can't touch anything. An AI can design an incredible building, but it can't pour the concrete. It can simulate a conversation with a therapist, but it can't actually reach out and hold your hand. This difference between bits and atoms, it's everything.
And what this means, kind of ironically, is that the so-called physical class suddenly becomes one of the most secure career paths out there. Jobs that demand a real physical human presence, think nurses, plumbers, electricians, caregivers, even live performers, they're insulated from automation in a way that a lot of laptop jobs just aren't. Real-world presence is the new premium. So let's put all these pieces together. What's the big picture here? It's really easy to look at all this change and feel anxious, but there's a much more optimistic and, frankly, empowering way to see it. This isn't about being replaced. This is a promotion.
And this might be the single most important idea to hang on to. We are not being fired. We are being promoted. The machines aren't coming for our jobs, they're coming for our tasks. They're here to automate the boring, repetitive, computational grunt work. And that's forcing us to move upstairs, professionally speaking. We're being pushed out of the mental boiler room and into the C-suite. Our new job is to do the uniquely human executive-level work, setting the vision, making the tough ethical calls, and defining the purpose. AI is taking away our excuse to be too busy for the big questions.
You know, there's a perfect story for this. Think back to Greek mythology, to Prometheus. He stole fire from the gods and gave it to humans. Now, the fire itself wasn't good or bad. You could use it to warm your family, or you could use it to burn down a village. The morality of the fire was all about the wisdom of the person holding it. Well, AI is our new fire.
And that right there, that's our new mission statement as a species. That's our new job description. The machines have the smart part covered. Our job, our challenge, and our greatest opportunity is to be wise.
For basically our entire history, the game has been about who's smartest. Well, that game's over. A new game is just beginning. It's a game where the most valuable skills are wisdom and taste and empathy and taking responsibility. It's a game where we, and only we, have the home field advantage. Our monopoly is just getting started, and it's called being human.